World War II, a conflict that reshaped our planet. Nations fell, empires collapsed, over 70 million lives were lost. On one side, the Allies, Britain, America, the Soviet Union, and their partners. On the other, the Axis powers, Nazi Germany, Japan, and Italy. A global struggle between freedom and tyranny. But imagine another version of this war. A version where the world's most powerful nations had access to technology far beyond their time. Imagine World War II with artificial intelligence. In this alternative history, the brilliant minds of Turing, von Neumann, and their contemporaries didn't just break codes. They built thinking machines, systems that could predict troop movements before commanders issued orders, algorithms that could decrypt messages in seconds rather than weeks, networks that analyzed thousands of intelligence reports simultaneously, finding patterns no human could see. The generals who commanded millions would now share their war rooms with silicon minds. Every strategy, every invasion, every sacrifice, recalculated by artificial intelligence. Decisions that once took hours of debate among military strategists could be rendered in moments. Battle plans optimized not by experience and intuition alone, but by mathematical certainty. The fog of war, that ancient companion of every conflict, suddenly lifted by machines that never tired, never panicked, never let emotion cloud their calculations. Would the war end sooner? Would more lives be saved? Or would everything spiral into something even more dangerous? World War II was not only fought with guns, tanks, and planes. It was fought with information. The Germans relied on the Enigma machine, a device so complex many believed it unbreakable. Cracking it required thousands of hours, brilliant mathematicians, and incredible luck. But imagine artificial intelligence entering this equation. AI would instantly detect repeating patterns, decrypt messages in seconds, predict communication structure, and reconstruct entire codebooks. The painstaking work that took Alan Turing and his team at Bletchley Park weeks or months could be reduced to mere moments. What required rooms full of analysts and primitive computers called bombs could be accomplished by a single AI system working at incomprehensible speed. The Enigma's rotating rotors, its plugboard settings, its daily key changes, all designed to create astronomical combinations, would become trivial obstacles. Machine learning algorithms could identify the subtlest statistical anomalies, exploiting weaknesses human cryptanalysts might never notice. Even operator errors, those small human mistakes that Bletchley Park relied upon, would be detected and cataloged instantly by AI systems, monitoring every transmission across the entire European theater. With AI, the Allies would know everything: troop movements, U-boat locations, invasion plans, and supply routes. No surprise attacks, no hidden ambushes, entire battles prevented before they began. The element of surprise, one of warfare's most potent advantages, would simply cease to exist. But what if Alan Turing didn't just break Enigma? What if he invented true artificial intelligence? In our timeline, Turing became a hero in shadows, his contributions hidden for decades. But in this alternate history, he becomes the most pivotal figure of the entire war. Not just a code breaker, but the architect of thinking machines. Would he have been celebrated as the man who ended the war? Or feared as the one who unleashed something humanity wasn't ready to control? But intelligence cuts both ways. If the Axis powers had AI, Britain's radar network could be neutralized. Allied convoys would be hunted with algorithmic precision. Resistance movements could be exposed through pattern analysis of seemingly unrelated data. A purchase here, a transmission there, all connected by artificial minds. The underground networks that saved thousands would become transparent. Every safe house, every courier route, every partisan cell, mapped and targeted with ruthless efficiency. The French resistance, so vital to Allied victory, would face an impossible enemy. An algorithm that learned from every captured agent, every intercepted message, predicting their next move before they made it. Information, once slow and fragile, would become the deadliest weapon of the war. World War II introduced tanks, aircraft carriers, radar, and rockets, but AI would transform the battlefield into something unrecognizable. Imagine AI guiding artillery, every shell calculated with mathematical perfection, predicting wind speed, atmospheric pressure, distance, and tank armor angles at various impact points. What once required experienced gunners and dozens of ranging shots now becomes a first strike certainty. Air battles become mathematical games. Pilots no longer rely on instinct and split-second reactions. AI predicts enemy movements 3 steps ahead. Turn rates, fuel consumption, ammunition counts, even pilot fatigue, all factored into real-time tactical recommendations whispered through crackling radio systems. Dogfights that once depended on courage and skill become exercises in computational superiority. The ace pilot with dozens of kills finds himself outmaneuvered by an average flyer assisted by AI that calculates optimal attack angles faster than human reflexes can respond. Every barrel roll, every dive, every evasive maneuver, predicted, countered, exploited before the enemy pilot even realizes what's happening. But perhaps the most revolutionary change would be the birth of autonomous warfare, decades before its time. Drones, primitive by today's standards, but revolutionary for the 1940s. AI-guided reconnaissance aircraft mapping enemy positions without risking pilot lives. Unmanned bombers calculating their own flight paths to targets. Kamikaze drones, cheaper and more precise than human-piloted suicide missions, swarming enemy ships with coordinated attacks no human squadron could match. The Japanese kamikaze strategy, tragic and desperate, could be replaced entirely by AI-controlled aircraft. No pilots lost, just cold, calculated, relentless machines. The Allies could deploy drone swarms over Normandy before D-Day, systematically eliminating German artillery positions while commanders watched from safe distances. AI could design primitive autonomous weapons decades before their time. Self-guided torpedoes that track heat signatures and acoustic patterns, automated anti-aircraft guns that never tire or miss, and early cruise missile calculation systems plotting courses around defenses. But here's where it gets darker. What happens to heroism when machines do the fighting? The soldiers who stormed Omaha Beach under withering fire, would they still be heroes if AI calculated their exact paths to minimize casualties? The pilots who sacrificed themselves to save their squadrons, would their courage still matter in a world where algorithms made those decisions? War has always been hell, but it was human hell. AI threatens to strip away even that, turning sacrifice into statistics, bravery into data points. But technology does not choose sides. Humans do. If the Allies deployed AI early, the blitz over London might be stopped in its first weeks. Every Luftwaffe bomber tracked, intercepted, destroyed before reaching the city. If the Axis possessed AI, the early blitzkrieg, already devastating, becomes nearly unstoppable. Poland, France, the Low Countries, overrun not in weeks, but days. AI does not erase war. It accelerates it. It perfects it. And in doing so, it shapes the very nature of victory and defeat. The real war, the one that decides victory or defeat, is not fought on battlefields alone. It is fought in supply lines, factories, and fuel depots. With AI, every nation gains a superpower, the ability to optimize resources with inhuman precision. AI could predict tank maintenance failures before they happen, calculate fuel needs with perfect accuracy across entire theaters of war, optimize naval convoy routes to avoid U-boat wolf packs, calculate troop distribution hour by hour based on real-time intelligence, and organize production facilities like a living brain coordinating millions of moving parts. Every rivet, every bullet, every gallon of gasoline, tracked and allocated with perfect efficiency. Factories could shift production based on predicted battlefield needs weeks in advance. Convoys could be rerouted mid-journey as new intelligence emerges. The chaos and waste that plagued every military in history, soldiers without ammunition, tanks without fuel, armies outrunning their supply lines, could be minimized or eliminated entirely through predictive algorithms that see bottlenecks before they form. If Nazi Germany had AI, one of history's biggest mistakes could be avoided: the invasion of Russia in winter. Operation Barbarossa, launched with confidence and hubris, met the brutal reality of Soviet winter. German tanks froze. Soldiers died by the thousands from cold alone. Supply lines stretched impossibly thin. With AI simulation, the system would warn: high probability of failure, resource shortage predicted by November, winter attrition fatal, recommend delay or cancellation. But would Hitler listen? This reveals AI's greatest limitation. It can calculate everything except human ego. Even perfect intelligence means nothing if leaders ignore it. Stalin purged his best generals. Hitler overruled his military advisors repeatedly. Churchill made decisions based on instinct and political necessity. AI could have told them they were wrong, but would it have mattered? If the Allies had AI, the Normandy landings become surgical, optimal weather windows identified, beach defenses analyzed, supply chains pre-positioned with mathematical efficiency, fewer casualties, faster progress inland. For Japan, AI might optimize their entire Pacific strategy, concentrating forces, predicting American movements, perhaps delaying defeat by months or years, or recognizing earlier the mathematical impossibility of victory. And then there's the atomic question. The Manhattan Project succeeded through trial, error, and brilliant improvisation. With AI simulating nuclear reactions, calculating uranium enrichment, optimizing bomb designs, the atomic bomb could have been ready by 1943 instead of 1945. But here's the terrifying flip side. If Germany had AI accelerating their nuclear program, the race becomes desperate. Both sides rushing toward the ultimate weapon, each knowing the other is close. Does Berlin get bombed in 1944? Does New York? AI does not guarantee victory. It makes every nation, winner or loser, more dangerous. War is not only fought on land or sea, it is fought in the human mind. With AI, propaganda becomes surgically targeted. Messages crafted not for the masses, but for individuals, analyzing fears, hopes, weaknesses. What once required intuition and guesswork becomes a science of psychological manipulation at scale. Governments could use AI to predict public morale before it collapses, tailor radio broadcasts down to specific neighborhoods or demographics, detect resistance networks through patterns in communication and behavior, analyze speech patterns for signs of dissent or disloyalty, and anticipate uprisings before the first stone is thrown. Every letter intercepted, every conversation monitored, every deviation from expected behavior flagged for investigation. The technology wouldn't just react to threats, it would predict them, sometimes accurately, sometimes condemning the innocent based on statistical probabilities rather than actual guilt. In 1940s Germany, such a tool would make totalitarian control even tighter. Every whispered criticism catalogued, every act of defiance predicted and crushed. The Gestapo, already ruthless, becomes omniscient. In the Soviet Union, political surveillance becomes almost perfect. Stalin's purges, already devastating, could be executed with algorithmic precision, identifying threats real and imagined before they materialize. But what about the resistance fighters? Could human unpredictability defeat machine prediction? Guerrilla warfare has always relied on chaos, on doing the unexpected. The French resistance succeeded partly because they were unpredictable. But AI learns. Every ambush teaches it. Every raid reveals patterns. The very tactics that work once become the data that predicts the next move. Unless the resistance learns to fight algorithmically, randomizing operations, making decisions by coin flip, becoming deliberately irrational to confuse the pattern-seeking machines. War against AI wouldn't just be fought with guns, it would be fought with entropy. But in democratic nations, AI could strengthen unity, analyzing morale to address genuine concerns, predicting supply crises before they cause panic, supporting faster and more effective communication between government and citizens. Yet even here a question lingers. Who controls the AI that controls the information? The power of AI is neither good nor evil. It is a mirror. It reflects the intention of those who command it, and amplifies it beyond human scale. So what happens when we simulate World War II with AI in the mix? Scenario A. Allies have AI Enigma broken instantly. Every German transmission decoded in real time. D-Day executed with perfect precision. Weather windows optimized. Landing zones analyzed. Defenses mapped to the meter. U-boats nearly eliminated. Convoy routes calculated to avoid wolf packs. Detection systems enhanced beyond human capability. Hitler's strategic mistakes magnified. Every miscalculation exploited before he realizes his error. The Battle of the Bulge never catches the Allies off guard. Axis supply lines are strangled systematically. Intelligence failures that cost thousands of lives simply don't happen. Outcome: the war ends years earlier, perhaps by 1943 instead of 1945. The Holocaust interrupted sooner. Millions of lives saved. Soldiers who never see their final battle. Civilians spared from bombings. Concentration camp prisoners liberated months or years ahead of schedule. Cities like Dresden and Hamburg might never experience their devastating firebombing. The atomic bomb perhaps remains untested, unnecessary against an enemy already defeated. If AI could have ended the Holocaust 6 months earlier, should it have been used, even knowing the risks? Scenario B. Axis have AI Britain strangled by optimized U-boat warfare. Blitzkrieg becomes unstoppable. Every weakness in Allied defenses identified and exploited instantly. The Eastern Front calculated with cold precision. Supply lines maintained. Strategic retreats executed before encirclement. Japan's Pacific strategy optimized. Pearl Harbor perhaps just the beginning of a longer, more calculated campaign. The Luftwaffe never wastes resources on unwinnable battles. German forces retreat from Stalingrad before encirclement, preserving their armies. North Africa becomes a quagmire for the Allies. Every Allied code is cracked, every movement anticipated, every ambush turned against them. Resistance movements are systematically dismantled before they can organize effectively. Outcome: the war drags on. The atomic bomb becomes not a final chapter, but perhaps the only option to break an unbreakable stalemate. Casualties multiply exponentially. Victory, if it comes at all, arrives at an unthinkable price. And the moral calculations become impossible. How many cities would you atomize to defeat an AI-enhanced enemy? Scenario C. Both sides have AI. A technological stalemate emerges. Every advantage immediately countered. Every breakthrough matched within weeks. A rapid innovation race accelerates beyond control. Jet engines, rockets, cryptography, all developed at unprecedented speed. Nuclear weapons appear even sooner, perhaps by 1943 or 1944, as AI-enhanced physicists solve problems in months instead of years. The Manhattan Project faces competition from German or Soviet equivalents, each racing toward the ultimate weapon. The Cold War begins, before World War II even ends. Alliances fracture not after victory, but during the conflict itself, as nations realize the true threat isn't the current enemy. It's whoever controls the most advanced AI after the shooting stops. In this timeline, there might not even be a clear victor, just survivors of the first AI arms race. In this version of the war, machines do not decide morality. They do not choose between good and evil, freedom and tyranny, mercy and cruelty. They simply amplify human choices, making the wise wiser, the ruthless more deadly, and every decision, right or wrong, infinitely more consequential. The question was never whether AI could change the war. The question was whether humanity was ready for that change. But winning the war is only half the story. What comes after? The Nuremberg trials, with a twist. Who is responsible when AI commits war crimes? The programmer who wrote the code? The general who deployed it? The algorithm itself? If an autonomous drone kills civilians, who stands trial? The post-war order. In our timeline, the United Nations was formed to prevent future wars. But if AI decided the outcome of World War II, would nations even trust a UN? Or would they immediately begin the next arms race? This time, an AI race that makes the nuclear standoff look tame. The economic aftermath. Whichever side controlled AI after victory would dominate the post-war economy. Reconstruction optimized by algorithms, industries rebuilt with perfect efficiency, but also unemployment as AI replaces human labor. The Marshall Plan, but administered by machines. The darker possibility. What if the war never truly ends? What if AI-enhanced nations simply continue in perpetual conflict, each unable to deliver a decisive blow, locked in an eternal algorithmic stalemate? The long peace after 1945 might never come, just continuous, optimized warfare. Artificial intelligence in World War II could have saved millions, or endangered millions more than we can imagine. It could have brought peace sooner, ending the bloodshed years ahead of schedule, or made the conflict even more devastating, extending the nightmare indefinitely. But one truth remains timeless. Technology does not choose the future. People do. The algorithms don't carry moral weight. The hands that build them, deploy them, and command them do. The lesson from this alternate history isn't about what AI could have done in the 1940s. It's about what we're building right now, in our own time. Every advancement in artificial intelligence, every breakthrough in machine learning, autonomous systems, and predictive analytics carries the same dual nature. The same technology that can diagnose diseases can design bioweapons. The same algorithms that optimize supply chains can perfect surveillance states. The same systems that could have ended World War II earlier might have made it inescapable. We asked, what if AI existed in World War II? But here's the real question. What if the wars of tomorrow are fought entirely by AI, and we're not even consulted? Because that future isn't hypothetical, it's being built right now. Autonomous weapon systems, AI-guided missiles, algorithmic warfare strategies. The difference is, we still have time to decide how to use them. And as AI reshapes our world today, the question is not what the machines will do, but what we will do with the power they give us. Will we use it to prevent the next great conflict, or will we simply make the inevitable wars more efficient, more deadly, more total? History offers no guarantees, only choices. The war we've explored today never happened, but the choices we face are real, and they're happening right now. This alternate history may be fiction, but the lesson is urgent. As you navigate a world increasingly shaped by artificial intelligence, remember, every technology is a tool. Its impact depends entirely on how we choose to wield it. World War II with AI is a thought experiment, but AI in your world, that's reality. So here's the question I leave you with. When you use AI, when you build with it, work alongside it, or simply accept its recommendations, what values are you amplifying? Stay informed, ask questions, challenge assumptions about technology and power, demand accountability from those who build and deploy AI systems. If this exploration made you think, share it. Start conversations, because understanding the past, even one that never happened, helps us build a better future. The future isn't written by algorithms, it's written by us. It's not something that happens to us, it's something we create, one choice at a time. Thanks for watching.